Hey guys, welcome to Let's Talk, the series that isn't everything wrong with CinemaSins, but you should stick around anyway because I talk about some interesting stuff. Today, I wanted to talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. TLDR version. It's really fucking good. I had a blast watching this film, and I did not expect to. Firstly, because it's entirely made by Sony, and second, well, it's an animated feature, and we all know those are hit or miss. Fortunately though, this film is a hit. Into the Spider-Verse stars Shameik Moore as Miles Morales, a biracial teenager from Brooklyn who eventually is bitten by a radioactive spider and gains incredible powers similar to, but different than, Peter Parker. Gaining those abilities ultimately leads Miles to an underground laboratory where the Kingpin has built a particle accelerator which rips open the space-time continuum, leading to the emergence of other spider people. Miles is confronted by his universe's Spider-Man, a blonde-haired version of Peter Parker who asks for his help right before he is killed. Miles must team up with other spider people and help save them and his own universe. Okay, so let's talk about the spider people in this film. Haley Steinfeld plays alternate Gwen Stacy, otherwise known as Spider-Gwen. Jake Johnson plays Peter B. Parker, the Spider-Man we are all most familiar with. Kimiko Glenn plays Penny Parker, the female anime version of Spider-Man who pilots a robotic suit. John Mulaney plays Spider-Ham, a version of Spider-Man from a cartoon-like universe. And goddamn Nicolas Cage plays SpiderMan Noir, a 1930s take on Spider-Man from the Marvel Noir series of comics. This cast is fantastic. And yes, that includes Nicolas Cage. Everyone does a great job in their respective roles, and it's so cool to finally see all these characters interact with each other on screen. The art style of this film is absolutely phenomenal. It's like watching a living, breathing comic book complete with text and thought bubbles, page wipes, and sound effect text. Seriously, if you're a fan of comic books, even a casual one, you'll love the aesthetic of this film. There is incredible attention to detail, and it never comes across as wonky or out of place. Keep in mind though, this is a comedy film, as every comic book movie has attempted to be ever since the MCU decided to turn the usually stoic and drunk Iron Man into a wisecracking smart aleck. But don't let that turn you off. The comedy in this film is not overcooked, and the comedic beats are perfectly placed. I know a lot of people are iffy on Miles Morales, but I'm so glad they made him the main character of this story because you're given a real story for him and you really get attached to him. He's an artist and this film explores that really well, especially the scene where he creates his own Spider-Man costume. The Peter Parker not from Miles' universe acts as a sort of mentor for him and you really believe the relationship between these two. Speaking of that Peter Parker, he seems to be a blend of the earlier Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and early cartoon Spider-Man, minus the whiny nature of Tobey. Yes, the infamous dance scene is in this movie, but Sony makes fun of themselves for it, and it's these little things that really endear you to the character. Spider-Man Noir is actually really funny in this film, and I'm so glad that we get to see Nick Cage back in something where he's not completely hamming it up. Or maybe he is hamming it up, except it just works this time. Seriously, if I didn't tell you he was in this film, you probably wouldn't even notice it. There are quite a few notable Spider-Men that are left out from the comic book Spider-Verse, but they'd run the risk of having too many characters on screen and not enough time for everyone to shine. And this brings me to some negative aspects of this film. Because there are so many Spider characters in this film, they don't spend enough time fleshing them out. For example, we just get a humorous comic book style backstory on each one. While those worked totally fine, it's glaring that those characters don't get as much screen time or things to do as you would like. I would have loved to have seen Gwen Stacy get a bit more to do and perhaps interact more with Peter because Gwen was Peter's first true love and the last time he saw her, she broke her neck falling off of a bridge that may or may not have been his fault. The film feels short as well, even though it's almost exactly 2 hours. I got this feeling because there are so many characters in this film, and the story just kind of wraps up what feels relatively quick. This could very well be a personal issue for me because I've waited so long for a Spider-Verse adaptation, but your mileage may vary. So, should you go see this film? Yes. I recommend this film to anyone who even has a passing interest in comic books or Spider-Man. The film has a lot of heart and gives you a real story from Miles, something we Spider-Man fans have been asking for a long time. Oh, and stay after the credits. There is a hilarious end credits scene that fans of my channel would really appreciate. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Let's Talk. If you like this video and you want to hear more of my ridiculous voice, try some of my other videos like my Let's Plays, and subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I'll see you in the next episode of Let's Talk. Bye!